Right beneath our feet, under the solid ground we trust every single day, there's a power of an absolutely unimaginable scale. It is the raw, creative, and, well, destructive force of our planet itself. Most of the time, it's dormant, it slumbers, but when it awakens, it can rewrite history, change the climate, and remind all of us of just how fragile our place in the world really is. Today, we're going to explore the stories of these giants, the most violent volcanic eruptions ever recorded.
Think about that for a second. It wasn't some powerful engine, a massive bomb, or any weapon we ever designed. No, the loudest sound ever heard was the Earth itself, roaring with a fury so intense it circled the entire globe, multiple times. That sound marked the climax of an eruption so violent it became the very benchmark for catastrophe. So, how do you even begin to compare events like these? How can we possibly put a number on the sheer chaos of a mountain literally exploding? Well, it turns out scientists have a system for that, a way to measure and to rank the planet's most violent outbursts. It's called the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VEI for short. It's a scale that runs from a gentle 0 all the way up to a civilization-threatening 8. Now, the key thing you have to understand about this scale is one word: logarithmic. That means that every single whole number you go up on the scale represents an eruption that is 10 times more powerful than the number before it. The jump from one level to the next isn't just a step, it's a massive leap into a whole new dimension of destruction.
And this chart really drives that point home. Take a look. A VEI 5, like the famous eruption that buried Pompeii, that spits out about 1 cubic kilometer of material. A VEI 6, like Krakatoa, ejects 10 times that much. And the VEI 7? A staggering 100 cubic kilometers. See, we're not just adding power here, we are multiplying it, exponentially. This scale is absolutely crucial for understanding the titans we're about to meet.
All right, so with our scale in hand, let's journey back in time. We're going to start with an eruption so famous, its very name has become a synonym for disaster. Mount Vesuvius, 79 AD, a VEI 5 on our scale. This is the one that famously entombed the entire Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum in ash, freezing a moment of pure terror for thousands of years. It was a horrific event, killing thousands of people. But on the scale of global impact, believe it or not, this was just the beginning.
Yeah, nearly 2,000 years later, another volcano would announce its presence, not just to a few cities nearby, but to the entire world. 36,417. That was the official death toll from the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia. This was a VEI 6 event, 10 times more powerful than Vesuvius. The volcano didn't just erupt, it completely disintegrated. And as catastrophic as that explosion was, the volcano's collapse triggered the real killer, a series of absolutely colossal tsunamis that just washed away 165 coastal villages. This account from a ship captain who saw it happen just captures the sheer horror. The final massive blast, that was the sound we mentioned earlier, the loudest in recorded history. It ruptured the eardrums of sailors 40 miles away and was clearly heard as cannon fire almost 3,000 miles away in Australia. That acoustic wave literally circled the planet 3.5 times. But even Krakatoa, with all of its terrifying power, was not the reigning champion. Oh no. For that, we have to go back even further, to 1815, to an eruption that didn't just shake a region. It plunged the entire planet into a chilling twilight. This is what's left of Mount Tambora, also in Indonesia. You know, before 1815, it was one of the tallest peaks in the entire archipelago. The eruption was so incredibly powerful that it blew over 4,000 feet, more than 1,200 meters, clean off the top of the mountain. All that's left is this enormous crater, what's called a caldera. So let's put this into perspective. Krakatoa was a VEI 6. Tambora was a VEI 7. So if Krakatoa was 10 times bigger than Vesuvius, Tambora was a mind-boggling 10 times bigger than Krakatoa. It was, without a doubt, the most powerful volcanic eruption in recorded human history, ejecting over 100 cubic kilometers of rock and ash straight into the atmosphere. Now, the immediate blast killed tens of thousands, but its true impact was global. The sheer volume of sulfur dioxide it shot into the stratosphere created this veil of aerosol that blocks sunlight, and that caused the infamous year without a summer in 1816. I mean, there was snow in New England in June. This led to widespread crop failures, the worst famine of the 19th century, which then fueled a devastating cholera outbreak. And here's where it gets weird. In the gloomy, cold weather, a housebound Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, and a shortage of oats for horses inspired the invention of the bicycle. Just think about that. One single eruption altered weather, culture, and technology across the entire globe.
So, a VEI 7 changed the world. But the scale doesn't stop there. There is one final, terrifying step up, the ultimate threat from planet Earth.
A V8 eruption. This is the domain of the supervolcano. And these aren't your typical cone-shaped mountains we see in pictures. No, these happen when a massive pool of magma builds up beneath the Earth's crust, growing in pressure over hundreds of thousands of years, until the crust itself just fails, catastrophically.
A VE8 eruption ejects more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of material. That's 10 times more than Tambora. An event on this scale has never happened in recorded history, but we can see the scars they've left on our planet. The eruption of Toba, about 74,000 years ago, was one of them.
The Toba eruption was so massive that some scientists theorize it triggered a volcanic winter that lasted for years, drastically cooling the planet. And this incredible environmental stress might have created what's called a population bottleneck, possibly reducing the entire human population down to just a few thousand individuals. It could have pushed our species to the very brink of extinction. So, from the ash of Vesuvius to the global winter of Tambora and the prehistoric cataclysm of Toba, these events, they're a fundamental part of our planet's cycle. It's really not a matter of if they'll happen again, but when. And when you see the profound impact a VEI 7 had on the 19th century world, the crucial question for us today isn't just about the planet's awesome power, but about our own preparedness. What would an event of that magnitude really mean for our interconnected 21st century civilization? Are we ready?